Greetings, salutations. Welcome back to our segment on Portswigger Web Security Academy. We are covering SQL injection. Today's focus is on visible error-based SQL injection. So as always, let's go ahead and get the lab started. So I'll get that going. Come back over here and let's read about what this is going to contain. This lab contains an SQL injection vulnerability. The application uses a tracking cookie for analytics and performs a SQL query containing the value of the submitted cookie. The results of the SQL query are not returned. The database contains a different table called users with columns and username and passwords. To solve the lab, find a way to leak the password for the administrator user, then log into their account. All right, so let's go ahead and click something like tech gifts or something here. And then we're going to come back over to Burp and we're going to turn on Interceptor. So it's on and we are running in the Burp browser. And we're just going to click on something again. We'll just click on like set accessories there. And now that should be in Burp waiting for us. There's accessories to get for that request. So let's right click that and send that to intruder, or not intruder, repeater. We're sending it to repeater. All right, so now let's hop over to repeater and we turn interceptor back off. And let's click send just so we have what the defaults should look like. All right, 200 OK. And so we can see there's a session ID and this tracking cookie ID. So what would we do? We're going to come to the very end of this tracking ID and we're going to put a single quotation and we're going to click send. And when we do, we get this 500 error. And we scroll on down. When we'll get this error down here. Undetermined string literal started at position 52 in SQL. Select asterisk from tracking where ID equals blah blah blah. And you'll see our two single quotes there. There shows one and then it shows unexpected character. So if you also want to click render, you can also see it right there. Okay. So with that in mind, what we can do is put a dash and we can send it again and it loads fine. So you see a 200. So we know we have an SQL injection attack here, most likely, because when we do the dash, we're able to comment it out and it started to work flawlessly again. Now, what can we do with this and how can we proceed? Let's think on that. So next we're going to try to include a select subquery that's also going to involve cast functionality. And cast is where you take one like data type and convert it to another, like from a string to an integer. So let's go ahead and try to make this happen, shall we? So we're going to come at the end of this single quote and we're going to put a space here and let's do an and operator. And we're going to say cast and we're going to open parentheses and do, actually we need to do double open parentheses. And we're going to do select and then we're going to do one in parentheses as an integer. And I believe that will be fine like that. So we're going to say use this cookie or tracking ID and cast, so select one as the integer and we'll click send and we get a 500 error. Let's see, render. Argument of and must be type boolean and not integer position 63. Okay, so it doesn't like us not utilizing boolean. So what can we do to make this work better? So what we can try to do is go to the very beginning, right after in, and go to the right for cast. We'll try one equals cast, and select one as integer. So let's see. We'll click that. Try sending it, and that goes through. Okay, so no error there. And remember, if we have any troubles, we should also try to URL encode these. If you forgot to do that, you can just highlight all of it there, and then you can just right click, and then you can go to, it's like encoding. Yeah, you go to convert selection to URI, and or sorry, URL encoding characters. So if something starts not working right, we may have to do that. Just keep that in mind. All right, so that works fine. So what can we do to make this a little bit different? So we know this select part works. So now we want to try to get username stuff, right? And we know back over here, well, what did it say? So the database contains a database table called names with a column username and password. Okay, so we want to try to get the username columns. Okay. So let's come back over here. We want to not select one anymore, but we want to select usernames. And we want to do it from users as integer. And just send this like this and see what happens. Undetermined string literal started at position 95 in SQL. There's that select asterisk from tracking where ID blah blah, and it's not seeing. Oh, it's stopping. It stops on the A of as, so we need to change this command. So what if we removed all of the tracking ID portion and click send again? Will that give us anything? Okay, so the error column username does not exist. Oh, usernames. I bet it was username, wasn't it? Let's click send again. More than one row returned by a subquery used as expression. More than one row. Okay, so more than one row was sent in. So we need to limit. We need to limit it to not all rows being brought forth. We needed to make it where only it's bringing one in. So how can we make this work? So we need to limit the user part here. So we'll put a space and we'll use the limit space 1 and see what that gets us. Hey, looky there. It leaked. The first one is administrator. That's kind of cool. So out of curiosity, we're just going to, what do you do limit 2? What happens then? Yeah, it can't do it. But go back to just the first one. Go back to limit 1. Works fine. Well, works fine if you got the parentheses in there, right? Yeah. All right, so with that in mind, all we need to do is change username to password. All right, select password from users, limit 1 as integer. Okay, so let's go ahead and click that. And we have the password. If you can't like copy in here, go back to your other responses, and it should be down here. And we're gonna copy that and just come down here from one of our previous ones. Perfect. And we'll come back and we are going to go to the my account. We're just gonna dump the password there. I'm just gonna copy the administrator from there, paste that in, and I believe that should be it. Congratulations, guys. We have solved the lab. You did a wonderful job. Proud of you. Keep at it. You're doing great. Keep taking your notes. You're going to get through this. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me on this. This was kind of cool, seeing the password leakage and the account leakage that way. We're learning new abilities, new functions. So stay secure, stay safe, and stay ethical. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.